Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. You know, I got to thinking today, with all of this artificial intelligence stuff out there, everybody's worried about artificial intelligence. So I thought I would get onto one of those AI programs and ask it a question about the Toyota Tacoma and see what it gave me back. So we're going to run through these, and I answered them as well. My question was, what is the question most asked about the Toyota Tacoma? That's the question I posed to the artificial intelligence or the AI program. And this is what it said, as well as a few others that it gave me as more other popular questions about the Toyota Tacoma. The number one was, what is the towing capacity of the Toyota Tacoma? That is the most asked question, according to this artificial intelligence program, asked about the Toyota Tacoma. So of course I had to look it up. And all I did, I just cut and pasted these things into Google just to see what Google said. Another arguably artificially intelligent program. So let's run through them. What is the towing capacity of the Toyota Tacoma? 3,500 to 6,800 pounds. That was the answer I got when I pasted that question into Google. Number two, what are the different Tacoma models and trim levels? Well, the trims. We have the SR, the SR5, the TRD Sport, the TRD Off-Road, the Limited, the Trail Special Edition, and the TRD Pro. As far as models go, this was a little vague for me in its response, but I thought I would group it into two areas. First one being drivetrain, obviously two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. And then secondly, the models, I guess. You have the access cab, the double cab, the short bed, and the long bed. That was the long answer to that question, I guess. Next up, number three, how reliable is the Toyota Tacoma? Well, when I plugged that in, it said according to JD Power, it has a score of 81 out of 100. By the way, the answers to the first two questions were based on 2023 models. This one, how reliable is the Toyota Tacoma, was based on a 2022 model year because we don't have all the data for 2023, obviously. So anyway, how reliable is it? 81 out of 100 according to JD Power. That is a great rating. Below the best, however. So they don't rate the Toyota Tacoma, and this is in reference to mid-sized trucks, as the best. It just scores as great. Number four, what is the fuel economy of a 2023 Toyota Tacoma? Now there's a range, obviously. You've got city, freeway, and combined. I'm just going to give you the city and the freeway, then you can figure out the rest, right? I hope. It's 18 to 22 miles per gallon. Now, unless there's been some major improvement with the Toyota Tacoma, I think this is off a little bit real world. I have no doubt that they were able to attain these numbers in perfect conditions. However, in the real world, I'm not getting that. I'm getting about 14 and a half to 15 and a half miles per gallon, with a little caveat there. My truck is modified in that I've got other or extra weight on it, as well as bigger and heavier tires. Number five, what is the price of a 2023 Toyota Tacoma? Well, according to the interwebs, Google, they start at $27,250 on up to $46,685 for the TRD Pro. Now, there's a huge caveat to this. You know, I did a video not too long ago about the availability of the Toyota Tacoma. I went to a lot, I drove around, they didn't have any. Well, they had one coming in at some point during that day, and I'm sure it sold that day, or at least the day after. So they're not readily available, which means there's a premium. I'm starting to see this again, trucks that they're adding $5,000, $10,000 to. So even though those are the base MSRP prices, you can rest assured that you're probably going to have a problem finding one at those price levels. Now, we have a bonus in here. I decided I'd throw this one in. What are most buyers interested in with the Toyota Tacoma? I mean, what do we really care about? Well, according to Google, we care about performance, which I find is kind of interesting, although I suppose it depends on how you define performance. For performance with me, it's more about speed and quickness. I think I might be off a little bit in my assumption as to what that word means. I think it really means off-road, daily driving, how does it do, are there any issues, things like that. Next is reliability. Is it a reliable truck? Well, according to J.D. Powers, it's a great truck. It's not the best. Pricing. Well, pricing I think is important no matter what. I mean, I don't care how a truck or vehicle performs or how reliable it is. If you don't have the coin to buy it, none of that really matters, right? Price. Lastly, overall value. We want the biggest bang for our buck. I mean, if we're going to go in and drop, let's take an average or mid-range price of, say, $35,000, $32,000, whatever. We want to walk out of the dealership and feel like we got the best value for our money. In other words, you don't want to walk out of there and pay that price and feel like you bought an F-150. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go out of there and then immediately start to worry every time there's any kind of weird thing that maybe you've got some kind of a problem. You know, Ford's got something going on right now. I believe it's with their electric trucks, though. Fires. Could you imagine driving around in a truck or any vehicle for that matter and having it catch on fire? I mean, you assume that when you get in your truck that you're not going to have to worry about your safety from the truck itself. Of course, we know we have to worry about safety when it comes to the other people driving around out there, but you don't want to worry about the truck hurting you, like catching on fire. So obviously, it's pretty important. Anyway, I just wanted to get on here. I thought it would be kind of interesting, and I may do this again in the future. Get into a little bit more back and forth with the AIs. You know, I have access, and anybody can get access to it, but I have access right now to a little chat thing with a supposed AI program. And I've asked it before, you know, are you real? Are you living? Or what do you think about this? Does seem to be a bona fide AI program. I think it's the one that everybody's talking about right now. But it's very interesting to converse, you can say that, via chat with those things. They won't give you opinions because they tell you they're a machine, they're a program. They don't really have an opinion. I can't wait until the day that they do have an opinion, although that might not be such a good thing. Anyway, I just wanted to get on, kind of talk about that a little bit. I thought it was interesting to ask that question to the AI. You know, what is the most often asked question about the Toyota Tacoma? And apparently, as I mentioned, it is, what is the towing capacity? So apparently that's all we really care about is how much can it tow? I don't know. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Is that what you're concerned about most when you go in to buy your Toyota Tacoma? How much does it tow? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Mod Driven, all about the Honda Civic, and RobMotive JT, all about the Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? And while you're at it, smash the subscribe button here too. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.